All right. Welcome to Coffee with Marcus and Mark, the number one stock market show on Spotify and one of the most popular market updates on YouTube. In this show, we talk about what's happening in the markets and how we are trading them. Now, today is Wednesday, June 21st. Stocks fall for the third straight day. Powell says inflation and its fight has a long way to go. FedEx drops after disappointing earnings. Winnebago sees a huge earnings reversal, and Bitcoin is on the move. Plus, we'll review our positions and share a trade that we entered yesterday with our mastermind group. As you could see, there's a lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get started. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Mark Hodge and I'm head coach at Rockwell Trading. And today I am running the show by myself, and this will be the case for the next couple of days, maybe a week or two. But on most days, I'm joined by Marcus Highcutter, Rockwell Trading's founder, and he does have the intention and hopes for joining me from time to time while he's on a road trip with his daughter. Is he in a Winnebago? Well, we'll talk about that. But even though I'm running the show solo for a little bit, I promise that you're in good hands. You could say that we have a ton of trading experience here at Rockwell Trading, decades actually. We know our stuff and we're not afraid to tell it like it is. So if you're looking for some honest insight into the world of trading, then you are at the right place. And before we dive in and show you our trades and how we're tackling these crazy markets, let's take a look at what's moving the markets today. So here we have a chart of the S&P 500, and you see that, gosh, what a change from last week where it was up, and away. We see this reversal bar on Friday. So after making highs of the year here on Friday, we did see a little bit of a decline, finishing Friday down 0.4% for the S&P. Then Monday, market holiday, futures were open, but stock exchanges were closed, or futures were open for a short period. And we see Tuesday, first trading day of the week, down. So down 0.5% yesterday. This morning, a little bit of a follow through here, opening lower, down 0.5% right now in the S&P. A little bit of a broad market dip, but this is led right now by the NASDAQ. NASDAQ down 1.2%. The Dow essentially flat for the day. So interesting to see that blue chips and some of those good all Dow components, the Dow 30, not really affected right now with this drop, down 15 points, which is nothing for the Dow at 34,040. The NASDAQ leading the market lower. Maybe some profit taking here as traders try to digest what's next after this huge rally. Now, what's in the spotlight today? Well, let's take a look at the economic calendar here, and we will see that Fed Chair Jerome Powell, he is testifying still, I believe, but there were some prepared comments and remarks, and then he sits before the House Financial Services Committee. This started at 7 a.m. Pacific, so 10 a.m. Eastern. Now, in prepared remarks, he did say that nearly all FOMC participants expect that it will be appropriate to raise interest rates somewhat further by the end of the year. So, those prepared remarks confirming what the Fed said last week, and that is, hey, we might have two hikes this year. Right now, traders, this is up a little bit. Traders have pretty much factored in at a one hike, a quarter point hike at the next meeting, which is a 2-day meeting, but it wraps up on July 26th. So right now, 80% chance that we will see a quarter point hike at that next meeting. If we go to probabilities, we'll see if this has changed. And no, it has not. So right now, traders are saying one hike at the next meeting, and it's going to stay put that way for the rest of the year. So traders still not on board with what the Fed has said and suggested, and that is that there are two hikes on the table, and that it's just the fact that right now they believe that to get down to their 2% inflation target, it's going to take a lot more work. So we'll see what happens at the next meeting. Traders have priced in that quarter point hike for next month. Right now, markets are down a little bit. It looks like the Nasdaq is making session lows. S&P still down around 0.5%, and the Dow slightly negative for the day. Now, let's take a look at the heat map here to see what the S&P 500 looks like. And interesting to see that even though we're down 0.5%, the biggies here, the Magnificent Seven, a new coin term here. Microsoft down 1.4%, Apple down 0.8%, Nvidia taking a little bit of a hit, down almost 4%, Google down over 2%, Meta down 2%, Amazon down 0.9%, Tesla down 4%, and then there's a lot of green, right? So this is interesting because it's, at least for the S&P 500, it seems like it's mostly tech taking this hit right now. And looking at the S&P 500, that's a little bit mixed because we have seen, and there have been some studies by analysts saying, hey, the S&P, now things have changed, but a month or so ago, there were comments that, hey, the S&P is positive for the year, really because of these big names and tech and this push in AI, and other names are lagging the market, right? Well, it looks like right now, maybe there's a little catch up taking place when we look at the heat map and the big names are down, but everything else is green. So interesting visual here. That's why I love the heat map. It just kind of puts things into perspective. And also, if you're looking for opportunities, especially with our style of trading, trading the wheel strategy, we like to trade stocks that are quality on down days, right? So this is where we could take a stock, see, does Tesla look like there's an opportunity there? AMD's down 5.6%. Does it look like there's an opportunity there, right? So we could use this to kind of see if there's anything on the horizon that we might be interested in based on our strategy and the setups we look for. So anyway, let's take a look at some market movers here, and let's first take a look at FedEx. So FedEx, this one, a pretty nice reversal from the open here. We opened lower, and we opened at 223.80. Let's just measure this real quick. So just over a 3% drop at the open, maybe 3.5%. They actually reported weaker than expected revenue. We could look at revenue here. We see that they beat on earnings, but a disappointing revenue. And that seemed to be a drag on the market. They did get positive for the day. Traders pushed this higher, but now down just shy of 2% here. Now, Winnebago, WGO is the ticker. Look at this, another huge reversal. Earnings wise, we see that they beat earnings, but they did report worse than expected revenue. Uh, so this is a 38.2% decline in revenue. Executives said this is largely due to a more challenging RV market and steeper discounts. And no, Marcus doesn't have a Winnebago. I think he has a Thor motor coach, right? Uh, I think if you take it up a notch, it's no longer an RV, it's a motor coach. He actually has a really impressive setup, taking his kids to these regattas. They've been sailing for years, and that's where he's at right now. He's doing this, what could be the final last sailing regatta trip with his daughter, and having some fun doing a big tour there. And hey, I'm happy for him, happy I could fill in, so he has that time. Anyway, WGO, nice reversal. And if we look at where we're at right now, just shy of 2% lower, although there was a huge drop at the open. This also had an impact on CWH, Camping World. But Camping World actually seeing a nice reversal here. opening lower down about 2% and now up 2.7% for the session. So just a real nice reversal for anybody holding Camping World. I know we have a few traders that got into this, traded the wheel, got assigned, and they've been managing it, collecting some nice dividends. This does pay a fat dividend, 62, 63 cents a quarter until or if that gets revised. And this has just been solid. So nice to see a reversal here after a couple of days lower, and then the reaction to Winnebago's disappointing revenue. A few other market movers, we could take a look at Tesla. TSLA is the ticker. They're actually positive at the open and slightly higher. And this comes after Barclays did downgrade Tesla from equal or overweight to equal weight. Barclays warned investors, saying it would be prudent to, quote, to move to the sidelines, end quote, after this huge rally that we've seen really all year long, but definitely in the past month. Now, another market mover. Let's take a look at this. Amazon's making headlines. AMZN in the news, down just 1.3% here, but they are being sued by the FTC. The FTC is saying that Amazon pushed users and to people to sign up for Prime services, and actually had a campaign to actively discourage their ability to cancel their Prime membership. The lawsuit goes back to an investigation that took place in March of 2021. FTC chair said, quote, Amazon tricked and trapped people into recurring subscriptions without their consent, not only frustrating users, but also costing them significant money. Well, we'll see how this works, what the outcome is there. The reaction, really kind of minor considering we have an overall down day. And you looked at the heat map. We saw the heat map there, and a lot of the big names down anyway. So down 1.3%. Seems like investors really aren't too worried about it. I don't know about you, but I've been happy with my Prime membership and what it offers, and also shipping. I mean, gosh. Anyway, so Amazon down a little bit. I think that traders see this as not a big deal based on where we're at today with Amazon and the overall market. Now, this is kind of crazy. Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the move, just kind of out of the blue, making highs for the year back in April. And that move kind of just came out of nowhere, pulling back, going sideways for months here, and then finding a short-term low around 25,000, and now just shy of 30,000. Yesterday up 5.5%, today up another 4.5%. So big 2-day move. Seems like there's some interest in cryptos again, especially with some big names like BlackRock, Citadel, Charles Schwab, Fidelity, making headlines with some of the things that they're doing with cryptos, and just seems to be in the spotlight. There's also a push by Wisdom Tree filing to have a spot Bitcoin ETF that they offer. This spot ETF hasn't been approved before, but we'll see. We'll see. So Bitcoin making a move, and this is helping other cryptos as well. We see Ethereum's up 2.9%, Litecoin up 5.5%. So some interest in cryptos, even though the NASDAQ is down. And, this seems to be a little bit decoupled now at this point, but there was a time when a risk-on environment meant you could look at cryptos, look at NASDAQ, and they were moving together. Not so much the case these days. So that correlation, which in theory shouldn't be a correlation, or at least based on crypto investors and traders and proponents, this should be, not a correlation to the equity markets. And it seems like that has kind of gotten away. I mean, also look at the NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ in 2023 up and away, even though Bitcoin is now making new highs. Definitely different behavior. So that's probably a good thing for crypto traders and originally what they wanted in the first place. All right, let's take a look at open positions here. Let's go to PowerX Optimizer, and I'll go to my portfolio and the two main wheel trades that I have on right now, PNC. So PNC, this one pulling back just a little bit, really flat for the day. I have a break even at 134.55. My cost basis is at 136, getting up towards these 130 levels. Now we need to see some more momentum rather than resistance here at 130. I still think that this could take place. I think no news is good news right now, and uh, not having any big concerns with regional banks. I think there is the potential for money to come back into this one, just like it did off of these lows. Traders saw this as a buying opportunity, and now we just need a little more momentum to get up to a level where I could start selling calls. Mentioned yesterday, a lot of oil and gas plays popping up on our wheel scanner. I think there were a few decent opportunities, and Marcus and I traded OXY. So OXY still showing us a 57 strike here that's available. I traded the 57 and Marcus traded the 57. Right now, it looks like you can get 20 cents, which isn't bad. This actually goes out to, well, this Friday. Um, Next Friday, you might be able to get 60 cents. That's not too bad. Marcus and I, we both got 32 cents yesterday, which was nice annualized return for the week on that premium collected. We're okay owning shares of OXY at $57. And yesterday, we flirted with that level. We got down to 56.87, closed the day at 57.23, and now we're trading at, what's that, 57.60. So I still like the 57 strike, and there was a 56 available. Some of our traders in the Mastermind Group got the 56 for some nice premium yesterday with the follow through and the drop that we saw. I think that this is a solid oil and gas play, and we'll see. If you're new to the wheel strategy, by selling puts to start the trade, start the whole process, you get paid whether or not the market goes sideways or the stock goes sideways, the stock goes higher, the stock diddles, the stock falls through 57. You're getting the premium that you collected when you sold that put. And if the stock is below 57 at expiration, so for us, we sold the June 23rd expiration, then we become the proud owner of OXY shares at that strike price. So we'll see. We'll see. Curious, what do you think about OXY? Do you like OXY? Have you traded it before? Do you like the 57 strike? Would you prefer the 56, or have you traded a higher strike? What are your thoughts about OXY? Curious to see how many other traders are trading OXY right now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you get notified when we do new updates and add more videos. And looking forward to another great trading day and coffee with Mark tomorrow. So until then, happy trading, everybody.